Composing Gloves here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Perfect Room. It is a reverb plugin. It's this one over here on the side. It's got a spectrogram, something you don't usually see in reverb plugins. And the angle that the Perfect Room takes on is it tries to get rid of all metallic resonances. If you go and look up actually their video, they have an example of this against just a common algorithmic reverb and then theirs, and they show that when you turn it up to 100%, there's virtually no resonances. It sounds fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through some keyscape stuff and just sort of doodle on the piano and show you a couple things about the Perfect Room that I think are really cool and why you might want it in your collection. But for drums and stuff as well, I was like, whoa, this is really, really dang cool. So let's go ahead. Let's just get started here. I have a Celeste up, and let's make sure that the reverb's off. That's great. And let's just hear it. Let's hear it dry first. So it's off right now at the moment. Very nice. Let's go ahead. Let's turn it on and let's hear it. What are we on? We are on the strings big ambience on the bottom end. Let's hear what it sounds like with the Celeste going through it. Very nice. So the way I have this set up right now, so obviously that was like drenched in reverb, is it's going through a channel right here. And then it's being 100% sent to the send channel, which is being mixed in. So you're hearing primarily the reverb. Really, really nice. Now this is more of a pure tone, right? So let's go for like maybe just a regular acoustic piano. So we have some more harmonics to sort of hear and analyze. The reverb is off. And let's go for another sound. Here we go. Strings, natural ambience. Let's hear that. Let's pump the mix up to 100. Very, very drenched sort of a sound. Let's pull it back a bit, maybe just hear it sort of sitting in the mix a bit better. Great, beautiful. Let's go. Let's turn it off. Let's just get an A/B thing going on right here. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Let's go for another preset here. This is synths, big ambience with top end. Sure, let's hear the top end here. Oh. It's kind of a cool effect to have on a piano. Whoops. It's kind of juicy right there. Another one that would probably benefit from being mixed a little bit more in there. let's try out a different sort of a texture. Let's go into electric pianos and check out what a Rhodes would sort of sound like. Go in, let's make sure, where's the reverb? There you are. B off. And let's hear it dry first. I don't know, let's play a 7 chord. Say okay. Maybe another 7 chord. Okay, let's hear it now. So let's play the 7 chord first up, right? Wow, really like that. Let's hear another one, and let me show you some of the additional features that sort of come with the reverb that I thought were kind of unique. If there's any pops or cracks, that's my interface being driven at an incredibly low latency. Maybe let's point out that real quick too. So the way I have it set up this way, I think I might have already said this, I can't remember, but direct sound comes through here, and then I'm sending it out in parallel through here. So you're hearing a send channel that has the reverb on it. And if you look up here, when I hover over the little clock icon, it says that there's a track latency of 92 milliseconds. So definitely something to be aware of. So you don't want to run this in series if you plan to use this, live. Delay isn't a problem with reverbs because they're supposed to be delayed. But if you put it in your chain, it will delay your direct sound as well and use the mix. So you're going to want to set it up sort of like this. Now, let me really quick just show you a couple of things in here. So they have a couple really cool things, but one that I just was like, wow, this is awesome, is if you go into the Detune, they have this I'd call it the oldifier. It makes things sound older. They've got wow. Whenever you see wow, I'm like, wow, that's going to be great. I'm going to take the shake down, take the speed down a bit, and bring the Detune up, and we're going to leave the wow right where it's at. Let's just hear that. Yeah, you get that old sort of out of tune sound. So let's take the wow down a little bit. You can add that extra nice little just to it. It depends on what you're making, of course, but this is an effect I find I really like. And if you look at any plugin that tries to emulate older things to make things sound a bit older, there's got to be something like this in there. It's really cool to see it implemented in the Verb, though. That's so cool. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me playing it up in my mind, but I love that kind of stuff. Ready? Very cool. So that's the wow. I wanted to definitely show you that. And there's another thing in here. They have Shimmer, which is also equally cool. I've not entirely figured out how to leave. Oh, you push the X. Oh my gosh. It's very straightforward. But if you go into Shimmer, Shimmer has a couple other things with the way the reverb interacts. I kind of view it as a specialized EQ control. Let's just pump that up a bit with what it has. All right, let me show you. Okay, let's do a before and after thing. So let's take it off first. There we go. Now let's make it shimmery. A really fun effect to have if you're going for a particular kind of a space. I'm not going to demo drums in this video, but also drums actually benefit quite a bit from stuff like this if you have like a shorter reverb kind of a time thing going on. Okay, so that's the detune, that's the shimmer. Let's take that off. And now I want to show you up here, they have these different sort of, I kind of view these as EQ curves. So typically I actually like natural the most, especially if it's dynamic content like a voice or some drums, but not always. So natural is just the decay will happen. I don't know like the details, but I assume it's like spectrum dependent. They try to make it sound as natural as possible. That was the idea. Okay, so there we go. That's natural. Now, triangle is a linear decay, so things will decay linearly over time, as you can hear. So that could have its place in whatever it is you're doing. And then I think squares probably natural and square are the ones that I think most people will end up using. Square is just going to chop it off. So if you're doing like a gated reverb kind of a thing, you could try and dial in a square setting, and I think that will actually be very helpful. There it goes, done. So you could just dial it in with your decay and whatever, and boom, you're rolling with a gated verb. I hit a wrong note in there. My bad. There you go. So very, very cool sort of a thing right there. That's one that I find myself sort of screwing with a little bit. And then these are, again, I view them as sort of EQ curves. I don't think that's what they technically are. I think there's more to it. But that's how I sort of, mindset I sort of take with them. Very nice. A+. Let's check out the bright. We'll go for the opposite side. I still have latency. I don't know how I still do, but I do. There you go. That should give you a pretty good idea of what this is sort of about here. You can see there's another thing called the ducker. I have not done very much with the ducker yet at this time, so I'm not going to sort of show that off. The ones, when I saw this and started using it, the things that I thought were really, really cool is when you pump the mix up, that it still sounds extremely clear. Like the metallic stuff doesn't exist, which is really, really nice. And I really liked the detune section. And Shimmer has, although it's sort of case specific, Shimmer has some really, really cool uses. That this is a reverb. So I feel like everyone's making reverbs these days. Like there are so many reverbs out there. You've got your DAW reverb. Every plugin company ever seems to make one. I don't know why reverb, but everyone wants to make a reverb. This is one that I actually will use. There's a couple out there. There's the 2016 Stereo Room by Eventide. And this one, because of some of the things I showed you here, that I'm like, wow, it's really cool. And then I'm just a sucker for the Fruity Reverb too, because I started with that one and I dial it in and kind of know what to expect out of it. And I really like some of the stuff by Softtube as well. There are several others that I grabbed to sort of just have fun. I'm not saying the other ones sound bad. Like there's the Oral River reverb, but there's just so many. I mean, at some point you've just got to kind of pick what you're going to use. And then there's the whole world of convolution reverb, and there's a ton of those as well. It's just kind of mind-blowing. Like you can just look at my channel and see how many reverb reviews I've got on there. But that's the Perfect Room Reverb. Very cool. There'll be a link in the description that'll take you to the relevant place. And that's that. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.
I've seen that look in your eyes before, but I don't want to go through a closed door. So buckle up and settle in, cause I'm getting down to my 8-bit jam. When the swingers sing and the piano plays, I felt so good I could dance all day. But not with you, oh no, not yet. I'm not skipping out on my duet. Let the drums roll in, let the moving start. Get up, get down, but don't pull apart. Is the swing not the same?